reality of our world. It's a strange situation here on planet Earth where we humans have removed our only solution to our poisoned health, our toxic industries, and our chained consciousness. All of this that can be solved from one plant, and we have managed to prohibit it. Our never-ending acts of consumption and global misconduct of waste disposal has created horrible impacts on the environment and also on our own health. Millions of acres of forests are being cut every year. Our air is being poisoned. Our freshwater bodies are diminishing rapidly. Our soil is being destroyed by the use of chemicals. Our oceans are becoming a waste ground of all the products used and disposed from our society. The ecological issues are plenty, but the solution to solving many of these issues is in the cannabis hemp. Our current conventional medicines have shifted far away from ancient natural ways of healing to big pharma's toxic and synthetic chemicals. The healthcare system is fundamentally flawed on so many levels. In the name of scientific authority, few have managed to control the entire world of healthcare systems. But the fact that allopathic way of healing, no matter how helpful it can be during an emergency situation, has failed miserably to address chronic issues and also cures to hundreds of diseases. The solution to a better healthcare setup lies in the ancient flowers of cannabis. Our industries are being allowed to abuse many natural resources in the name of economic growth. Mixing that with bad laws, low standards, high competition, and a global industrial race has collectively managed to succeed in turning a lot of blind eyes to what is really happening to our Mother Earth. 150 years of industrialization has definitely advanced the human ways of living, but at what cost? The price we pay to continue this form of industrialization is an irreversible damage that will be a threat to the future of all life on Earth. The solution to a better industrialization is in the stalks of cannabis hemp. Humanity is passing through a phase of leading a never-ending, stressful life. A constant rush towards the ladders that takes one up the illusions of hierarchy of every society. A population outburst of over 7.5 billion people, rising costs of living, shrinking spaces, imbalanced competition has triggered a psychological state of constantly being on a survival mode. How to deal with stress, many of them do not know. They end up subconsciously abusing substances, food, sex, alcohol, cigarettes, television, social media networks. Not so long ago, the world was also a quiet place. An occasional power cuts in the evening, an easy way to step out of the city and be in Mother Nature. All of those things have disappeared now. One of the great threats to our society is the rapidly diluting human connections. The solution to de-stress the mind and reconnect the human spirits is in the residence of the mystical lovers of cannabis. Our agricultural space has already taken a giant hit. The grand farmers are gone, and with them died the ancient ways and methods of farming organically. Moreover, the explosion of population has triggered a great unrest to produce more in smaller spaces. The invasions of GMOs or genetically modified organisms and chemical pesticides have ravaged the land spaces for nearly 40 years now. Cotton is the largest non-food crop of the world, and majority of the cotton is supplied to the entire world from India. Cotton is also the world's largest chemical consuming crop. All the clothes that we wear today across the world have poisoned millions of acres of land and every water body beneath it. Agriculture for food is no different. We are eating malnourished foods that have inferior nutrient production as compared to the seeds of cannabis hemp. The solution to empower the agricultural system, provide an economically meaningful living to the farmers, and protect our soil and also the water resources beneath these lands lies in the cannabis hemp. Human consciousness is capable of doing the most wonderful things. Thoughts, emotions, philosophies, ideas, creativity, change. manifestations, expressions, etc. But our consciousness is being hijacked like it's never been done before. Over the last 200 years, institutions like suppressive educational systems, organized religions, television networks, entertainment industry, controlled news media organizations, social media networks, porn, poisonous sugars, nutritionless foods, alcohol and cigarettes, etc. has done more damage than good to the purity of human consciousness. To top all of this, the national governments, along with the united force of global regulatory organizations such as the United Nations, have managed to, for their political benefit, ignorantly remove many of the aboriginal and sacred cultures related to consciousness and consciousness expansion, and has strictly enforced a serious ban on any of these substances that can open up the human mind to the best of its abilities. Instead, they have promoted consciousness degrading substances such as alcohol, cigarettes, chemical drugs, synthetic pharmaceuticals, television programming, dopamine-inducing social media networks, etc. They have crushed the true potential of a united human consciousness in order to enforce a working-class civilization that manages to work for its entire life and do nothing but pay taxes and not question anyone about anything. It's time for the mass population to stop playing sheep and regain the power of human mind. Our positive emotions, our selfless compassion, our intelligence, knowledge, and ancient wisdom through these natural entheogenic plants that has the potential to relax the mind and elevate the consciousness every time to its highest capacity. Technology is what we also live on, survive on, and continue to thrive on. But how is this technology impacting the planet? How often do we stop and wonder why we choose to buy the things that we buy? How are these products manufactured? Where does these raw materials originate? How is it processed? How is it put together? How is it being transported up to me so that it can be bought and sold? How much of destruction is happening in all of these stages of this product being manifested in our reality? What happens after we use? Where does it go? What happens to every single component within them? Is it biologically degradable? Can it be naturally degraded and consumed back by the earth? Technology is everything. The whole world lives on technology and uses it to function every aspect of human living. But what if there is a possibility to survive and thrive without poisoning the world? Or at the very least, cut down majority of the pollutants that are being consumed unconsciously by over 7.5 billion people on every corner of this earth. Our furnitures, our papers, our textiles, our energy sources, our fuels, our plastics, our homes, our foods, our nutrition and essential supplements, our medicines, our cosmetics, our consciousness altering substances. All of these can come from cleaner sources and leave no negative trace on planet Earth during the extraction, processing, using or disposal of such items. Now that's a great technology to fight for, except we have outlawed it in most of the places of the human world. This technology is green in color, about 15 foot long, and one of the most miraculous and highly generous super plant of the planet Earth. Its name is Cannabis, and it will resonate for the rest of time.